You're watching episode number 40. Yes, that is 40 of season 1 of the Hong Kong Racing Show. I'm Andrew Brown. My co-pilot is Alex Evers. We've got a great show coming up, including all the latest Hong Kong racing news. We'll preview the big Group 3 double header at Sha Tin this weekend and hopefully find you a winner or two. And as the season draws to a close, Alex is going to count down his top five most memorable moments of season 2024-25. So stand by for that shortly. But firstly, let's bring in the man with the mo. How are things, Alex?
Very good. I shaved this in for a party, and I'm going to keep it, I think, till end of season. I think we just wear this out until we get through the dog days of the Hong Kong racing season and let it go.
Whoa, yeah, it's looking very good. And I see we've both got our kind of Del Mar shirts on as well. We're
We're
getting ready for
we're
Del
we're
Mar.
ready. I'm on my little hiatus right here, and then Del Mar season starts up, and then we're back to work. But I've got a little. I'm on vacation. This is the vacation mustache, the
Uh-huh.
vacation shirts, the whole vibe.
I don't know if it's a Ron Jeremy or a sort of Tom Selleck moustache. I'll have to go and Google some images. What about you?
Pick your poison.
You would have looked like a very distinguished gentleman at Royal Ascot. Have you been following Royal Ascot?
Minimally, but if I'm not working it, I'm not shitting it. I have like this much of interest. The only thing that I can say that I'm waiting for, that I'm expecting for, and I a buddy in Hermosa Beach here I ran into today asked me about who I liked for Ascot, and the only thing I can tell you is Satono Rev, Kaiying Rising Form, Satono Rev, and he's like 5-1. He's like third choice on the market right now. I don't know
Yeah.
what market he was looking at in the United States. Maybe FanDuel, maybe I don't know who it was. But if I can get 5-1 on Satono Rev, I might be either I'm gonna have a lot of money left over, or I'm gonna have to ask my wife to front me for the rent this month.
Well, let's hope you get some added boost to your odds too, because of course it's a world pool meet Royal Ascot, which means for us here in North America too, we've been betting into the world pool. Huge liquidity through our local North American ADWs. And I
Get with
want
the
to give a
world.
special shout out to someone who's been very much a part of the Hong Kong Racing North America family over the last couple of years, and that's Andie Biancone. She's been at Royal Ascot this week supporting her father, former Hong Kong jockey Patrick Biancone, who had Lennilu running in the Group 2 Queen Mary Stakes on Wednesday. A $23,000 purchase was Lennilu, and managed to finish that gutsy third behind the 9-4 favourite True Love from the Aidan O'Brien barn. So it was great to see Andie there cheering on her horse and all dressed up. Our friends over at World Horse Racing actually captured the whole moment, and they have a special feature up on their YouTube channel. So make sure you go and check that out after you've watched this show, of course. But here's a little snippet of it from our friends over there at World Horse Racing of Andie just after the race.
We're just so proud of our little Florida bred. She really made it and showed up. Yes, and True Love honestly caught my eye right away in the paddock. I said, oh, that one's the one to beat for sure. But just very, very proud of her. It was a hot pace. She was part of it the entire time, but she's just so honest and a really talented filly with a bright future.
So Lennilu certainly ran his heart out. Again, thanks to World Horse Racing for that snippet. A great story, Alex, and Andie there on crutches as well.
Yeah, what's the story there with the crutches? She go miss?
I think, from what I understand, she protected Lennilu from the pony who happened to kick out, and Andie was between the pony kicking and Lennilu. So it was probably better. I think she said that she took the force of the kick versus Lennilu, but it meant that she was on crutches for Royal Ascot. And
Wait, that's the real that's the story?
that's what I've heard. I did have some messages with Andie earlier. I just wished her a speedy recovery, but I saw that somewhere. But yeah, we do wish Andie a speedy recovery too. Hopefully she's okay. She said that there was no fractures or anything. It was just bruising. So let's hope that is the case.
Playoff hockey season. Everyone's playing with something right there right now. Everyone's hurt right now. But how hurt are you? Long way from your heart, is what we always say.
Right. Well, that's a bit of news from Royal Ascot and other things. And here's what else is making news in the world of Hong Kong racing. Trainer John Sires has increased his lead in the Trainers' Championship thanks to another successful win at Sha Tin last weekend, highlighted by the winning return of his sprinter Wunderbar. which means wonderful in German, in case you were wondering. He took out the Class 2 feature under Huey Bowman. Here's the final stages of that race.
Wunderbar working through in the centre. It is bottom up together. Wunderbar, Raging Blizzard down the outside. Wunderbar's gone to the front from Raging Blizzard. Harmony and Bless are on the inside. Wunderbar's back.
Huey just pushed the button there at the 300-metre mark, and Wunderbar went bang. John Size now 9 wins clear of David Hayes as he chases a record-extending 13th Trainers' Championship. Alex, Wunderbar, pretty impressive then. We've got to remember, he's the only horse to have beaten Ka Ying Rising, and he's done it twice.
Brownie, easiest handicapping tip in life, and I bet Tim will say the same thing. If you look at the form and you see Ka Ying Rising anywhere in the form line, just bet the horse. That's all you have to do. There's zero skill involved. Just look for Ka Ying Rising and hit win. Win, win. So we'll see. Satona Rev at Ascot. Wunderbar. He finally found his form, and he seems like one of those that comes off form and then comes back on. He's an exciting horse with a ton of talent. I mean, to beat Ka Ying Rising twice, I know it was early in his career, but still, that's a lot of talent, natural raw talent. So interesting to see. That sprint division is so tough. We got a horse coming up later that we're probably going to talk about, packing Hermod. We got Wunderbar, Hermod, Helios Express, Ka Ying Rising. There's so many nice horses in that division. So it'll be good to see leading into next season as well.
Well, there might be some Ka Ying Rising form lines in one of those races that we're going to have a little look at later too. So we'll look forward to getting your selections shortly. Also making news, should mention jockey Ellis Wong, who's been on fire of late. Good on you, Ellis. He's going to have his claim reduced now from £7 to £5 after notching his 45th career victory in Hong Kong. Wong had another double at Sha Tin last weekend with Aero Valanic getting the job done for Pierre Ong, and then Joy of Sprint for Casper Founds. Alex, he's riding really well, and hopefully we might be able to try and get Ellis on the show between now and the end of the season too.
Yeah, he's riding super well, and he just kind of parlayed that success in Happy Valley where he had those couple meets where he had multiple winners in a row over into Sha Tin. So it's lovely to see, and good to see these guys losing the allowance and getting into the equal weights with the rest of the crew.
Yeah, Ellis had 23 wins last season. I think he's up to 20 now this season. So with a few cards to go, hopefully he can surpass that mark and go 1 or 2 wins better than what he did last year. Speaking of this season, Alex, it's time for you to share with us, as promised at the start of the show, your top 5 moments from Hong Kong racing season 2024-2025. Do you want to count down from 5 to 1, or do you want to just mix them all together?
5 to 1.
5 to 1?
5 to 1. 5 to 1, absolutely.
Well, here we go. Starting with number 5 of your top 5 moments of season 2024-2025. Take it away.
All right. Number 5, Romantic Warriors Middle East Adventure. He started out with Jebel Hada, beating Measured Time, ill-fated Measured Time, lovely run, then got run down by Forever Young, then lost by, I don't want to use my proper terminology for what he lost by in Dubai there, but it was the slimmest of margins. But it was an unbelievable campaign. It was lovely to see the Warrior take on the world, leave Hong Kong. He seemed to love it. Potentially, if he recovers from his injury, he's going to go back to Saudi next year, which I would love to see, and potentially not do Jebel Hada, but straight into Saudi, which I think would suit him a little bit better here with the fitness level. So, Romantic Warrior, number 5.
Yep.
Number 4, the Enigma, and he's running later on Sunday as well. But Cap for Ross, stunning in the Derby, a maiden winning the Hong Kong Derby, just getting up in the line with Craig Williams. And on the day, I think I looked to one of the fans. Did Cap for Ross just win that race? I was shocked. With my Derby horse, I got off. He's gorgeous, a Coolmore private purchase. They come over to Hong Kong. We'll follow him the rest of the season and later on in his career. But that's number 4 for me. Number 3, Zach Purton breaking the record. We were trying to line it up if I was going to be there or not. I think I was in Saudi when he did it, or on a plane to Saudi. But broke the record for most wins in Hong Kong. Did it so graciously before he had a nasty fall and recovered well. And he's back on to trying to break his win record for the season this year here in Hong Kong. And we'll follow that later on.
That was cool.
That would be number 3. We're going on to number 2. Just the season for Ka Ying Rising, but to me specifically the December run, where everyone said, it might not be his best run, but to me, the adversity he faced, the pressure the whole time, pressure from the outside from Victor, the winner, never really got to get a break, and he kicked on home strong, and he showed what a true champion he was. Dismantled the rest of the series, but that run for me, I know it wasn't the most visually impressive, but to me, it was the most impressive run of his season, where he was under the most duress. So, lovely run, Ka Ying Rising, and we'll follow him in the next season. going on to the Everest. Cannot wait for that. Maybe Brownie. Maybe I'll make my first trip to Australia. You never know.
Oh, that'd be awesome. We're going to work on that, actually, don't we?
We got to, and maybe stay for Cox Play too,
But it's only a few
and then
months.
maybe for Melbourne Cup. It's
Yeah, okay.
close.
We need to work on that. Anyway, drum roll.
Drum roll. Number 1, Triple Crown winner, Voyage Bubble.
Of course.
America, we love a Triple Crown. We can't change a Triple Crown. This is the new Triple Crown for the older horses, but Bubble did it the first since River Verdon. Was it 31 years? 94, I believe, off the top of my head. I'm not a notes guy. I'm not a notes guy off the top of the head. But
It's been a
Voyage
while.
Bubble impressively wins the Triple Crown and stretches out the distance to 2,400 meters, uncharted territory. As Steve Coburn would say, taking on the coward type of horse who comes in fresh, Dubai Honor, which is a foreign horse, which actually makes the Hong Kong Triple Crown tougher now than back in the day, where we're starting to see horses like Dubai Honor, who's absolutely tremendously talented, Rebels Romance come over. But Voyage Bubble turns back all comers at a mile and a quarter, and a mile and a half, and wins the Hong Kong Triple Crown. And we can only imagine what would happen had Romantic Warrior stayed. Could he have been potentially a Triple Crown winner there? We'll never know. But Voyage Bubble is the one who showed up for all 3 races, did it like a champion. He holds that Golden 60 form, that Romantic Warrior form, and it's tremendous to see in Hong Kong. And those are my top 5 moments of the Hong Kong season. Maybe we'll get a couple more here at the end of the season. You never know. But for now, top 5.
What an awesome top 5. Yeah, that's fantastic. Well done, mate. And actually, be very interested to hear our audience's top moments from season 2024-2025 too. So drop a comment wherever you're watching this, and maybe we'll feature 1 or 2 of the best comments in next week's show with your name next to the comment as well. So just drop it on if you're watching this on Twitter live stream or YouTube or wherever you're watching this show. We'd love to hear your top moments from season 2024-2025 too. But what a great top 5 from Alex there. All right, time to preview Sha Tin this weekend and find you a winner or 2. We have a Group 3 double header on tap. And the first of those is the Premier Cup over the 1,400 metres, which is about 7 furlongs on the turf. It's race 6 on the card. Number 1 is Beauty Eternal. Zach Purton jumps back on. We were just talking about form around Kai Ying Rising. Well, the last time he contested 1,400 metres, he ran 4th behind Kai Ying Rising. Number 3, Invincible Sage, is reunited with Hugh Bowman, ran a nice 2nd behind Helios Express in the Sha Tin Vase last out. Patch of Theatre comes out of that same race. When he was closing strongly for 3rd. Should appreciate the step up in trip. Number 6, Packing Hermwood, the one that's probably likely to take plenty of money at the windows. He's coming off back-to-back wins in Class 2 company. The Poon Train goes on. He looks capable of making the step up in grade 2. The speed map shows Victor the winner leading over co-partner Prance and Patch of Theta. Alex, your selections, please, in the first of the Group 3s, the Premier Cup.
I've been looking at the weather, and we do have a bit of rain in the forecast for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Invincible Sage is a horse that I really like, but I do think Packing Hermod, and we've been saying all season long, that he's probably a graded stakes type. I don't know if he's as good as Kai Ying Rising, but because of the stipulation, I believe, from what I read in SCMP, Swainess was supposed to run. Now he didn't run, so they booked Matt Poon on Packing Hermod, and then Zach gets on Beauty Eternal. So that's kind of the story behind how the Poon train ends up on Hermod, but he's tremendously talented. And I do like him to take the win with Invincible Sage, loving the off track. And if he ended up beating Packing Hermod, I wouldn't be a bit surprised. But I like those 2 over Patch of Theta and the Enigma that I can never get on at the right time, Beauty Eternal, probably to run 4th in that spot.
That's interesting about where Zach would have gone in this race. I didn't know that backstory, so that's good to know. For me, I've got Patch of Theatre on top. If the speed map is accurate, the one that we just saw on screen, it looks like it'll take advantage of the low draw and get a nice sort of suck run box seating behind Victor the winner. I think the step up in trip suits, and it looks like it's going to suit him probably better than Invincible Sage, despite the latter kind of comfortably beating him last out and nearly beating Helios Express, I should say, in the Sha Tin Bars. Invincible Sage. It was a great run, but I think 1,200 is probably his pet distance, Invincible Sage, whereas Patch of Theatre looks like he's going to appreciate the extra furlong. So Patch of Theatre for me on top, Packing Hermod in for 2nd, and I was going to throw in Beauty Eternal in for 3rd there because of the Zach factor. I thought it was interesting that he was taking on the ride on Beauty Eternal instead of packing Hermwood, but you've just shed some more light perhaps on that decision. All right, well, let's have a look at the second of the two Group 3s at Sha Tin this weekend. And it's race 8 on the card. It's the Premier Plate over the 1,800 metres, approximately 1 mile and 1/16th. Another really good field, this one. Number 1, Straight Aaron, won the Group 2 Chairman's Trophy over the mile 2 back. Number 2, well, we always give this horse a shout out, don't we? The pride of Iowa, Chang Chang Glory. Ran second in the Group 3 Line Rock Trophy last out, also over a mile. Number 4, Ensued. Had a bit of a troubled trip, you could say, in the Champions and Chater last out. Still ran on pretty well for 6. Has trialled well since. We've got the Hong Kong Derby winner, Cap Ferrar. The Queen Mother Memorial Cup winner, Bundle Award. And California Totality also got to be among the chances. The speed map shows Pray for Mur going to the lead under Matthew Chadwick from post 8. Alex, a lot of different ways you could go here. Which way are you going to go?
Depends how the track condition plays, but Pray for Mir to me looks like he doesn't necessarily love the off ground as much as some of the others would. California Totality, 2 poor runs on the all weather under good conditions, but I do like him in this spot to sit a trip right off the early speed with Bedell, who's won on him recently. Happy Valley. Gets in at a lightweight where if the ground is a bit heavier and they don't go that quick ripping off from the front early sectionals at 1,800 meters, he should sit a trip. And behind him, I've got Chen Cheng Glory, our man with Ferraris on there. If the pace isn't exceptionally fast and if he's kind of sitting back and she's kind of relaxed a little bit earlier, I could see him sitting a nice trip. And then I've got Cap Ferrar where the distance might just be 200 meters too short for him, cutting way back to the 1,800 and the 2,400. Seems to be a 2,000 horse, but I got him in third spot with Bowman. He hasn't drawn a barrier since the Derby where he performed his best. He's been outside and he's going to have to slot in somewhere from barrier 9. Brownie, what do you got going on here? What are your thoughts? So this race, you can go so many different directions.
Yeah, and I mean, it goes to show, doesn't it? Because you've left my top selection out of your top 3. I'm going to go with Ensued. I just thought he was really gutsy last out over the mile and a half. Copped that early check. This is in the Champions and Chater Cup, of course, the final Group 1 of the season. And then he made that gut-busting move from about 1,000 out, did a ton of work with a couple of others, yet was still kind of whacking away even after Voyage Bubble went past him and it was all over. I don't mind the cutback, and it's the same distance he won over earlier in the season when he won the Sasa Ladies Purse. So it's Ensued for me on top with Purton aboard. Hardest to beat for me is the Derby winner, Cap Ferrar. And your pick, California Totality, I've got in for third to round out my trifecta. Alex, one I like earlier on in the card, race 2, number 3, Storm Runner, who I thought ran a really good second behind Leathermaster last out. Cuts back a furlong. Speaking of Purton rides as well. Anything from you that you've noticed else in the card other than those selections you've given us in the 2 Group 3s?
My best better horse that I'm looking forward to seeing run here is Super Express in the 11th race of Class 3 handicap over 1,400 meters. He won his first up, unlucky in the last 2, finished second. He might be a bit short of a price, but he's a nice horse and one that I'll be looking forward to next season. But yeah, Super Express, the 9 horse in the 11th race, which Pacific time is going to be early in the morning.
Very early in the morning. Race 1 Pacific, 1 a.m. In fact, by that time, race 11 might be around, 4:30, 5 o'clock?
Yeah, 4 or 5 a.m. The time that I should not be up on Sunday morning.
And yet you probably will be.
Yeah, I might be. There's always a chance.
Well, speaking of Super Express, it's been a Super Express show, but a very enjoyable one. We've gone through your top 5, latest news, bit of Royal Ascot. We've got our Del Mar shirts ready to go, giving you some tips for Sha Tin. I think that's about it. Anything else you want to add?
That's about it. Just using the element stuff that we were talking about with Junior last week, recovering, getting the hydration station going for the weekend.
I've just been drinking one myself. How about
that? Maybe that's a potential sponsorship right there, brother.
That could be a sponsor.
Organic. We're just bringing it in.
That might be a sponsor for the Del Mar Racing.
Or Red Trackins at Del Mar. Cougars and cocktails.
All right. Well, let's wrap this show up.
We'll workshop that one. We'll work on that one later.
We'll workshop it. Well, thank you, Alex, and thank you everybody else for watching and tuning in. Don't forget to leave a comment with your season highlight or two. And we hope you find plenty of winners at Sha Tin this weekend. And we will see you next week for episode number 41 of the Hong Kong Racing Show.